Hello, I'm Christy Craig. The article that I chose for this week was called Without Words. It was really related to how we can help ELL students, strategies for ELL students in our classrooms. One thing they suggested is that you should greet students at the door. It makes them feel comfortable. All students would benefit from that. Makes them feel comfortable and welcome, makes them feel like you care about them. Another thing to do with ELL students is make sure that you can pronounce their name correctly. Being able to pronounce names correctly, again, makes students feel welcome. A few other strategies that they mentioned was to group ELLs together, that they can use their native language and should use their native language to communicate information that's being asked of them on an assignment in the classroom to reinforce information. So that they can learn the language a little bit easier. We can also use native English speakers with our ELL students and pair them together and do like a study buddy technique. That seems to be rather effective in helping reinforce, especially peer-to-peer. Another idea is to point out the objectives for the day and then use those to enhance vocabulary and focus the point of the lesson. They recommend slowing down. As you can tell, I tend to talk fast, so that's something that I can certainly work on. But to slow down, use a display, so reinforce what you're saying with a visual component like a PowerPoint. Have a student paraphrase or rephrase what was said in the lesson, and then use some checks for understanding. One check that I like, because it's discrete, is the question mark or the good to go. While my students are working, I have them put this on the desk so I can walk by and check, are they good to go, and they don't need me to interrupt them or ask them if they need assistance, or do they have a question mark and I know I can go right to them. Things like the thumbs up, thumbs down work really well. An exit slip for the day works really well too, to assess how much of the lesson students are understanding. The last thing that they talked about was using things like Google Translator. Google Translator can be used to translate instructions into the student's native language so that they can better understand what the focus of the lesson is and what they're expected to do. Although Google Translator doesn't always take into account, it isn't always accurate, but it would be better than having it in English when they're still working on their English proficiency. I really liked the article for this week because it gave a lot of good suggestions on what we can do to improve our techniques and assist our ELL students and all students in the classroom.